Good morning, Max. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well, Julien. How are you? How's Paris? How's the evening? What's new in your world?
I'm great. I mean, can't you see? I'm even glowing. I get that very nice glow
You are
effect all over
glowing.
me.
Yes,
So
yes, beautifully so.
that
You're
is a
halfway.
sign of a good thing. I mean, I know December is way behind us now, but I kind of look like a Christmas tree. So kind of keeping the Christmas spirit a little
There you
longer.
go. We can
Um,
stretch it out just that last inch.
yeah, if only I could. Well, I have received a present, even though it's not a Christmas present. It was in a mailbag, and that's a
Hmm.
story. And that's probably one of my favorite presents these days, anyway. So, would you mind for me to share?
I think that would be wonderful. You can hop on that little blue couch there and let's get going.
That I will do. Again, I'm not the comedian that you are, so I'm just going to have to read the story as it comes, but I'll try to
Don't
give
worry.
it as much credit as I can. So, here is the story. I had to buy Amazon gift cards on the website. So, Amazon website, I guess.
Hmm.
It wasn't clear whether I could buy them all at once, yet send them to each person separately, or whether it would have to be individual purchases. All right. I did them one by one. I filled in the information for each, then the recipient email, then I paid, and then done. Well, Amazon style, pretty easy and straightforward. Now,
Yeah.
next day I ask around, and people have not received their gift cards. So that's when things go down, I guess.
Oh,
Uh, so I check on Amazon. My order has disappeared. I'm not sure whether I'm going crazy or not, but I click around until I find another tab called Cancelled Orders. Actually,
no.
interesting. That's something we should check. I've never seen a cancelled order tab on Amazon, but that must be there somewhere. So I check and then I find my gift card there. I'm not sure why it got canceled, but I do it all over again. Then I wait, then I check my order, and after a few minutes processing, canceled again. So I now do each card separately. I pay them individually. Same thing. I try a different credit card. Same thing. I try to use phone numbers instead of email addresses for the gift card. Same. At some point, two of the five cards I tried to purchase went through, and the other three don't.
Ouch.
So in the end, I had to ask a friend to do it from her account, but as of now, after clicking everywhere, I still have no explanation of why it got rejected. Well, well, well. Where do we start? Interesting one.
Yikes. Shocking that Amazon would do something like this.
You,
That's
you, you know what? I was thinking the same. Back in the days, I had an issue with Google. But when I say back in the days, that was like early 2000. I can't remember when it was, but like
mm,
really early days of Google AdWords and this kind of stuff. And I had an issue. I can't remember which one it was. At that time, you didn't have just AdWords. You had Google AdWords and Google something else. Can't remember what was the name. And I had an issue with my account. And that's the time I realized things are so smooth with Google that you never contact them. And it's
right,
good because the
right.
day you try to contact them, good luck with that.
Forget about
Impossible
it.
to find a phone number or contact form. They send you from FAQ to FAQ. They drive you nuts to make sure they prevent you from ever reaching out. And now that I think about it, I mean, I've never tried Amazon uh, call center or contact center. There must be one. But the service is so smooth generally. The only time I need to contact them, you actually contact the seller, not Amazon, the platform.
Yeah.
So I've never really had to. Have you ever contacted Amazon before?
I can't say no, but I don't, not that I know of, not that I can remember. And it's ironic, the whole story behind their contact center platform is we built this wonderful contact center for our company to serve our customers. So they they put energy into it. They've spent a lot of time on their contact center and they're proud of it and market it and advertise it heavily. But yeah, I mean, one of the strengths, the reason I started with, wow, I'm surprised this is Amazon, is one of their strengths is the lack of a need to get support. And from the story, it doesn't sound like this person did they. Maybe I missed it. Did they try to reach out to support, or did they just keep banging their head against the wall till they got through what they needed to do?
Sorry, I'm reading the story and I see nothing about. I see nothing about contacting the support. I see nothing about a web form. I see nothing about a phone number. I don't know if that happened to me, if I would even think about contacting the support. I mean, it's Amazon. Things go smooth. The very few times you actually need to engage with a company, there's like a drop down, 5 options, 3 options. It's never 5 options, 3 options. And one of them fits your needs. You click on it. Everything is automated. I don't recall ever the very few problems I had with the platform. They had figured it out before I even had to do anything.
Yeah. Yeah, and it sounds, I mean, as nightmarish as this is, getting a completely nonsensical error and having stuff get canceled when clearly whoever this was didn't cancel anything, and then turning around and finally doing it individually to have 2 out of 5 work. I guess they then did it and got 1 out of 3 and then 1 out of 2 and eventually got through them all. But I mean,
I think you touched the core of our story here. That's probably what we should focus on here. It's not about contact center. It's not about the customer service. It's about the fact that even when things are generally perfect, shit happens. Right? Murphy's Law all over again. So there's going to be one order that goes wrong. And what you should cater for as a company, caring for customer happiness and customer experiences in general, you should cater for that experience that happens every now and then, because you can't control everything 100%. And what do you do in that specific situation? And the fact that apparently that person did not go through the contact center, either it was not obvious enough, or for some reason that did not pop up as an idea, which would normally be the first thing you would do with any other vendor. So either it was not clear enough, or that person had created different habits from working with Amazon. But in any case, the biggest problem I see in that story is the lack of information. The person had to find that there was a canceled order tab. Just by the way, did you ever notice a cancel order tab?
Never noticed there was a cancel order tab.
All right, so please check it immediately after.
Yes, I will. Well, and I think another point is, thank God it was there.
Yes.
So otherwise, that order would have been completely disappeared.
Yeah, but if an order, I mean, okay, if it's me and I see an order canceled, my first thinking would be, oh, I've probably clicked something wrong, because the order must have been canceled by me. Because in that story, that's Amazon gift cards, meaning I could imagine Amazon being a platform. You could buy from a third-party vendor that could reject your order because they're out of stock, because whatever, your requirements cannot fit, or they can't deliver in your region, whatever it is.
Right.
But here is Amazon gift card. So there's a producer, plus it's a digital thing. So no reason on earth you would run out of stock.
You're right. There's no physical supply problem. There's no dependency on, there's no supply chain here.
Exactly. So, and it looks like it was not a bank issue, because some of the orders went through, which typically either your credit card works or it does not, but it does not work every now and then. So something has happened, but my biggest concern with that experience is the lack of information. If my order is canceled, I should be made aware of why did that happen. Was it my problem? Was it your problem? Was it the bank problem? Was it a technical issue? Just let me know, because apparently I could read the story again, but I think they went through that same process at least 3, 4, 5 times. How many times was it? I would say 4,
At
probably,
least
right?
three. At
Yeah.
least three. Yeah. Yeah, and something they didn't mention one way or the other is I wonder if they got an email saying your order's been canceled. That would be another thing you might expect, especially if I assume what this means is that the fact that it says it's a canceled order means it was a completed order and then it got canceled. And if it was in a shopping cart and you canceled while it was in the shopping cart, I don't know. Lack of information. Now we're starting to make up stories about how it got into that state, which just means we're baffled.
And the real issue is not that the order get canceled, it is the lack of visibility. Because the way the person found out was by asking around, did you receive my gift card, by the way? Which you don't want to have to ask that. You especially if it's around Christmas time, you're offering gifts to friends and family, and
Yeah.
you're not
Yeah,
receiving
the
any
last thing you want to do
thank
is,
you.
hi, did you get my gift? That
Yeah, it kind
really
of
defeats the
sucks, right?
purpose. Yeah.
So the lack of notification about the order being canceled is an issue, and the lack of reason why it got canceled. Because if you know exactly that's your bank, try a new credit card, which the person did apparently didn't work any better. But again, had to do it himself instead of actually getting notified that that was a problem. If you know it's a technical issue, try again later, try from a different account. At least you have a hint of what you should be doing about it. So it's either you notify people very clearly or you make it easy to engage with the brand, or even better, you proactively engage with the customer saying, hey, I saw
Yeah.
you place that order. Because even from a company perspective, you're losing money, right? You have a person
I
who's
was
ready to place
just going
the
to
account.
say, boy, if there's anything I want to double check on, it's why did you cancel the order, right?
Exactly. So I guess there is a certain volume of transaction that once you reach that, you don't have time to care for every single order individually anymore. You're just making enough money with the rest of the crew.
Yeah, and I would imagine. I wonder how. I'm sure several large companies don't make as much money all year as Amazon makes on gift card orders in December. So
Mm.
I certainly they've hit the volume and critical mass to be, if something's getting messed up, very hard to go chase all that down individually.
Well, but again, good point. Volume. It could be a simple technical issue due to volume, right? Black
Right.
Friday, Christmas period. That's when you got all the orders coming through, and you could have a glitch. You could have a bandwidth issue. There could be a million reasons, but the lack of explanation is problematic. Now, in the context of Amazon, what is the real impact? Because the person does not say that, but I'm guessing that's not going to prevent him or her to go back to Amazon on the next day for whatever they need to buy next, right?
Well, I would agree, given that he or her spent at least 4 turns trying to get these gift cards. So willing to bang their head against a wall repeatedly until they got through it is, because it'd be very easy to say, oh, you know what, I'm just going to give them Visa cards, and I don't know how it works in France, but in the US, there's like a small surcharge on those. So certainly Amazon is a better thing to do, but, Visa card is just like a general gift card, like a credit card. So, they do have alternatives, and the alternatives are easy. So speaks volumes, as we have multiple times, to the power of Amazon to just have and keep, and you'll put up with some stuff because of all the other that goes there.
It's interesting you mentioned that. It's probably going to be for another time because I don't want to move too far away from the initial story. But that's interesting you would mention Visa card because at least from a Christmas or birthday perspective, offering a Visa card is really offering money. While offering
Yeah.
an Amazon or whatever other store card, yes, ultimately it is money, but we're offering you the ability to buy yourself a gift. It's not for grocery shopping or whatever else. So it's kind of closer to a gift than a Visa card would ever be. So it kind of lacks a gift sense of things.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Although I'm not sure a couple of years from now we'll perceive it that way, given that Amazon owns 2 grocery chains and everything else that they're getting into. It's not that far from being a Visa card.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting. It's one of the powers of giving a gift card is the limits of it, which I guess I've known that, but I just haven't thought about that in the same way.
But that's good you say that, because it's actually a double failure from the company perspective, because they've lost the. In this case, apparently, the person tried over and over again. So probably all the gift cards went through at some point. But gift cards are such an important part of the business, because think about it. If you're buying a gift, whatever, on Amazon, you're buying a single product. That's a single purchase. When you're buying gift cards, your customer number one is buying gift cards, is bringing you another customer or multiple customers that may or may not be existing customers, but at least are going to come purchase on your platform. If they do, you build loyalty from a new buyer. If they don't, well, you've just sold something against nothing.
You get to keep the cash, right?
Cash, because I'm pretty sure there is a expiration date somewhere on the gift card. So if it's not now, it's in 3 years' time. That money is mine anyway. And it's word of mouth, and it's another way to remain top of mind. Gift cards are such a powerful gift from a brand perspective.
Yeah, they really are.
It's really a miss, right? So, I mean, what would be the learning here? What would be your suggestion to Amazon? Because I'm sure Jeff is listening to you right now.
Yeah, I'm sure he is. Hey, Jeff. I mean, this is such a basic breakdown. It's hard to feel like there's some deep-seated thing here. First is don't let a simple ordering process break down, which I think, to your point, given the time of year, that's easy for me to say here in my wonderful counselor's office, but in the real world, not so much. The other is notification. You know, if an order gets canceled, there should be something telling me that that people get it. I know I get irritated when I get too many updates on something. You know, if a package ships, I don't need every step in the process. Give me 1 or 2 steps along the way. But if it's canceled, I mean, I guess I could see a situation where it's like, well, this is canceled. You got the thing on the website saying it was canceled when you ordered it, but clearly this person didn't see that, and I don't think that happened. So that, to me, is, I think, the biggest learning is cancellation is something you should be telling people.
I agree. And if we ignore for a second the big brand behind it, if we talk about any other store, I would add to that, if it's gift card, you probably need to pay twice more attention to it because of all the advantages we've talked about earlier.
Yes.
It's more than a single purchase that you're dealing with. If an order gets canceled and it's not because a customer canceled it directly, you should be able to find out why and notify that customer. And at least provide the answer, even if it's on the website, not necessarily through notification. But I guess whenever you cancel an order, because as a company, you should notify the customer, but at least have the reasoning behind.
That's a really good point. That's a really good point.
And if you can afford it, my last piece of advice would be, if you can afford it, if your contact center is large enough, train your people to proactively call your customers who've got their order canceled if they did not cancel it proactively, if you canceled it for whatever reason, so that you can actually help them purchase the item. It's great for you. You're going to get additional business. You're actually calling to get business. It's 99% guaranteed. They wanted to buy, you canceled it. So it's almost guaranteed sell here. And that's a satisfied customer because you are proactive. There is no better customer service than proactive customer service. So that'd be my last piece of advice here. Be proactive about it.
I love that. And seems like the business case would not be that hard to build for that, right? Yes, I'm going to put some people aside. There's times where just the load is too much, and okay, you don't do it then. But and to your point earlier, I'm not just keeping that purchase. I'm keeping all the user experiences that go along with the next person who's getting that. And, the guy who got $100 gift card and uses it as an excuse to buy a $300 item. And,
Exactly.
you're getting, yeah. Well,
Perfect.
I think we fixed Amazon. I think this poor little struggling company is going to be okay now, thanks to this session.
So let's just figure out whether we could fix either Google or Meta next week, and I think we'll be done with the GAFAM before the end of the month.
That sounds perfect.
Great, we're on it. Well, thank you so much for your time, Max. And next week, I hope it will be either your story or you'll be the proxy for someone else. But you got to be on that couch.
I will definitely bring something couch worthy.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Max. Have a beautiful day.
Yeah, have a wonderful evening and a great tomorrow.
Bye then.
Take care. Bye.